Macros are your carbohydrates, your fats, your protein.
How many days a week are you in the gym during this whole process?
I see a chiropractor once a week. I see a massage therapist once a week.
And they're doing 350 pounds.
Some of them do.
Here we are at the Miami International Fitness Expo, and I've got in front of me Lisa Kromer, who is a IFBB Pro Wellness individual. So I'm gonna let her just introduce herself really quick.
Okay, my name is Lisa Kromer. I came and competed this afternoon in wellness, open 45 plus classes. Just came over here to say hello.
Well, that's great. Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So what was your, when did you first start getting involved in fitness?
Well, I'll start with 1998. I moved back home after college and met my future husband at a gym. And he became my personal trainer, introduced me to the world of powerlifting. And then a year later, we started doing Strongman competitions together. So we've been married, 26 years, competing together the whole time. We're both professional strongmen, strong women. Also do the arm lifting, the powerlifting, and I started the bodybuilding journey in 2017. Started competing in physique, and then in 2022 I started competing in wellness, and then 2 years ago I went pro.
So you explain, because I'm kind of new to this a little bit. I'm a little new to fitness and wellness and everything else. I'm doing really good. My trainer's here. Let's say my trainer.
Right on.
I'm down 20 pounds, so I'm heading in the right direction. I got my food on point. You saw what I was eating for lunch.
Yeah.
Kale and chicken and broccoli with no sauce. He's like,
healthy.
You didn't put sauce on it. I'm like, no, cut the sauce out. So my question is you mentioned Strongman.
Yeah.
And then let's go after Strongman really quick. So
okay.
You and your husband, that's what you guys first started competing in?
Yeah, powerlifting first.
Powerlifting first.
But then we kind of wanted the athletic challenge that Strongman provided because you're moving with, weight. You're moving with weight.
So is that together? Is that a couples kind of competition?
It's not a team thing, but we would do a lot of the same contests together.
Okay. So I noticed this is like a men and women here. Let me show you the camera on it. And we got this United Grid League. So they do men and women actually together. It's quite interesting.
Yep. Very
so
fun.
Strongman is definitely, it's an individual? Or is it?
Occasionally they have like couples as a team or like team type things, but usually it's a pretty individual. What you do is how you progress.
So the powerlifting, I guess, that's definitely individual, right?
Yeah. So squat, bench, deadlift for powerlifting. For strongman, that's more like lifting Atlas stones, flipping cars, flipping tires, carrying yokes on your back.
Flipping cars?
Yes.
One person flipping a car.
One person flipping a car.
That's crazy.
I can't say I've personally flipped a car, but I've flipped, I want to say a 500-pound tire. I've walked with a 500-pound yoke on my back. Went pro in strongman in 2016.
And how tall are you?
I'm 5'3". So
a 500-pound tire.
500-pound tire when I weighed probably about 140 pounds.
Sam has me flip a tire at the gym, and there's no weights on it, and it's on a hinge.
Yeah, those are handy.
So your tire, you flipped.
Tractor tire.
An actual real tractor tire, no hinges.
Right.
That's a little bit of a cheat, I must say.
It's extreme.
Yeah, the tractor tire is a lot harder to flip probably than that tire I'm flipping at the gym with a hinge on it.
Yes, I guarantee it.
And I don't know what it weighs, but I can guarantee you, I'm not even sure it's 100 pounds.
It's probably more than that.
Is it? It doesn't have any weight on it, though.
Yeah, it depends which brand you got. Some of them are going to be lighter.
So it could be 100 pounds.
Could be 100 pounds.
Okay.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, now I don't feel so bad.
300. Yeah. You did a 300.
Now I don't feel so bad. Are you still flipping tires?
No. I actually started focusing just on being a wellness pro a couple years ago.
Okay, so we talked about the powerlifting. Is this thing that they got going over here
I saw an Olympic weightlifting
That's
platform
sort
over
of
there, but there might
it's
be
not really because they got like
powerlifting
a
too.
curl, like you got to stand your back against the wall.
Yes.
So there's like
So like
you
a
can't jerk
strict
it.
bicep curl.
It's definitely it's straight on the bicep. There's no cheating, right?
So there's a guy that works out at my gym that does that competitively. So he really likes that. I'm pretty excited to see it in action here today.
Okay, so that's powerlifting. Strongman is about the cars and the tires and stuff like that.
Usually a strongman competition will have a carry event, an overhead press, a deadlift, a loading event. So there's usually like 5 different things that you do in a strongman competition.
And then after the strongman that you were doing, what was you were doing the physique?
Yeah.
Did I remember right?
Yeah, correct. So I started physique.
That's what we just had going over here.
Yeah, I haven't
physique?
seen it yet. I did wellness today. They were doing bikini right after me, and then there's other things. So I'm sure there's physique women up
So
there.
what's bikini is different from physique? You'll help the people here tuning in because you're teaching me and
here's
explaining
kind
it.
of the progression of muscularity for women. They have the new fit model category is the least muscular. Then you got bikini. Then you got wellness, which is a little different because it's lower body dominant, but they want the smaller look up top, like the bikini girls just definitely have the glutes and the thighs. And then I would say after wellness, you've got fitness or figure, and then women's physique, and then women's body.
Well, looks like you gotta have bling too.
Yes, it's gotta have bling.
Is that for all of them, or just the one that you're doing with wellness?
Pretty much for all of them. For fit model, they don't allow as much bling on the suits, but you definitely want to glam up and do makeup. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I noticed everybody has like a darker complexion.
Yeah, you can spray tan. Yeah, you don't want to stand out as.
So this isn't your competitive look that we see right now.
Oh, absolutely. You wouldn't recognize me right now without the spray tan and the hair and the makeup done. I look totally different.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And so why is that something that seems pretty prevalent among the competitors? Does it help the muscle tone?
Part of its presentation. Think stage presentation, the model type look, but you're very fit. You're muscular. You're athletic.
And does it show up better in the lights or something?
Yeah, you definitely
the darker complexion.
Want the spray tan is going to show off the muscle separation better. You want the makeup because otherwise you just look washed out on stage.
Oh, right.
So think
I can get
if you're in a play or something, you have makeup on.
If you go out there like this color,
people put sunglasses on and be like, whoa.
And they do the lights, you're actually not going to be able to really see.
Exactly.
I mean, unfortunately, there's nothing to see here, but if your husband, as an example, competing and you didn't have the spray tan, it'd be very difficult to see those. I'm just saying for the listeners out there that might watch this that wants to learn more about it. Why is everybody spray tanning? Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason is the presentation and being able to see it clear. It makes sense. I mean, if you're very pale and then you're under those stage lights, it's going to you're going to be washed out.
Yes.
Where everybody else you're going to be able to see all that muscle tone and definition.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then you mentioned wellness. So tell me more about this wellness category.
Wellness is kind of the oddball of the women's categories because you're not looking for that X-frame complete hourglass shape. You're looking for a little bit smaller on top and definitely bigger on the bottom. You're looking for the big glutes, the big thighs.
Oh, really? So one of the things we noticed, I was talking to Sam, my trainer, where he was looking at some of the competitors here, and they've got quads.
Yes.
And he said it was due to the nature of the competition here.
Yeah.
This is very quad dominant type of work that they're having to do to compete.
Yep.
So what kind of exercises are you looking for to build the glutes?
The lower body, a lot of hip thrusters.
That you're doing for this kind of competition.
Hip thrusters, squats, deadlifts, sumo deadlifts.
Is that hip thrusters with weight?
Yes, definitely, with a lot of weight.
Oh my God. So that's like all I'm doing. He has me doing hip, I guess just I'm just at the very beginning of my journey. Even though I'm older, I'm just at the very beginning.
That's awesome.
And I'm doing hip thrusters, but with a stretch band.
Yeah, yep.
But I'm not doing any weight.
You might progress. You might progress.
You're saying these women that are competing to get to that look,
Yeah.
they're not just doing hip thrusters with their body weight.
No,
They're
some of
using,
them
are they using machines or?
Sometimes. I've seen some of them do 315 pounds on a bar. I prefer using a machine because the bar really hurts my pelvis. So I might throw.
So you're what,
3
laying
plates
on the
each side.
ground?
There's these special machines, like booty builder machines, that you kind of lay back and then you go into that hip thruster, hip bridge position with the weights. There's like a cushion belt that goes across your lap.
Right, they have that at my WOD.
Yeah.
But you're mentioning the bar. Like if you do the bar, is that like a floor type exercise?
Yeah, so you take a regular barbell, put the weights on the sides. You could do it straight on the floor if you can fit under the bar, or you could put your upper back on the bench and then do it from the bench.
And they're doing 350
I've
pounds.
seen some of them do, over 300 pounds is impressive.
It is impressive from a guy that has trouble doing his body weight.
Yeah.
I mean, I do weigh 260, I have to admit, unfortunately, and up that range, but it's spread out all over. It's not on a focused bar hitting my waistline, trying to raise that bar up and down. That's incredible.
Not such a bad thing to do off season when you've got a little bit of cushion, but when you're deep into prep and your body fat is dipping down into the single digits, it hurts. Because there's no cushion. It's just on the bone.
You know what? You bring up another point. So you said the word prep.
Uh-huh.
What is, like, how many weeks are you prepping for this? What? How many minutes you're out there? 15?
Yeah.
30 minutes maybe?
Since my last season, I would say it'd been about a year and a half. So I took a solid year to try to put some more muscle on. And then I would say about 6 months to bring my body fat back down to the single digits so that I could get ready to step on stage.
6 months.
Yeah, it's a long process.
That's a serious. I'd say that's a discipline. A lot of discipline.
Yeah.
So what does that look like to reduce that body? I mean, I could definitely use a loss of body fat. You spent 6 months doing it. I probably need a few years because I spent decades investing in this body, and I'm not sure how many months or years it's going to take to get rid of it all.
I've been tracking my macros for, I want to say, 2,200 days.
Macros. What are macros?
So macros are your carbohydrates, your fats, your proteins. So typically I follow a macro diet. I have targets that I want to hit that come out to a certain amount of calories, and I want to hit those macros within 5 to 10 grams of each one each day. So basically,
that's some serious tracking.
Yeah.
What do you use an app to do that?
I personally use MyFitnessPal, the browser.
Oh, you know what? My wife says she's trying that out.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
Wow, so it's the same tool.
Yep.
So you're tracking everything.
Tracking everything.
You don't put nothing in your mouth that you're not writing it down.
Yeah.
That's right. I guess even water?
I have a target of 1 gallon of water a day, and in order to keep track of it, I just fill up an actual gallon and I drink off of it.
Pour off of that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So you don't have to write that one down.
Right.
Wow, that's an amazing process.
Yeah.
6 months.
6 months. I think it took about 6 months to cut from my peak weight off season down to my stage weight.
So what's the difference? You mind sharing?
Oh, no, I don't mind. I think I peaked at 165 pounds, and my stage weight today was 131 pounds. And I'm sitting at about
165 and 5'3", and you're not out of shape. You're not for sure obese.
Oh,
that's a lot
muscular.
of muscle weight. It's a lot of muscle weight.
And then you bring your macros down and you bring that body fat down. So I got probably to about 8% body fat for this.
Wow. 20 pounds?
35.
35 pounds?
35 pounds, yeah.
Of fat? Even on somebody like you?
Yeah.
Or do you lose a lot of muscle along the process?
Along the way, yeah.
Like what would be the percentage of that?
I couldn't tell you, sorry.
But you do lose some muscle.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
So when you're planning and you're training, I guess you have to plan for that? So you gotta go, okay, I need to be, I think you said 160. I got to be at 165 because when I get ready for comp, I know I'm going to drop 35 pounds.
Yeah.
And so I got to balance everything out so that I still have the muscle tone that I want and the muscle mass that I want.
Yep, you want to spare that lean muscle as much as you can. You eat a lot of protein, and then you draw down your carbs and your fats.
So you eat a lot of protein.
Yeah, my protein stayed high at 165 grams a day.
Okay. Interesting. And I'm going to guess your sugar intake is what, 0?
I got down to 70 grams of carbohydrates a day.
70 grams of carbohydrates. So you're counting sugars like if you have blueberries, there's sugar.
Yeah, for sure.
So are you even looking at that as far as like some fruits and vegetables have a higher sugar content than others? So that's where that carbohydrate count. That's why you're counting those carbohydrates. You refer to macros.
Yep, it's calories.
It's still calories.
It's still calories. You still want to get quality food in, so fresh fruits, vegetables, things that are going to be healthy for you.
Well, that's what I'm doing right now.
You really knock out all the extra garbage and the fast food. And I'm not going to say I knocked out all the sweets. I have to admit I have a sweet tooth, so I have a little something every day just to stay sane.
All right, so share with us. What is your little thing that you have that keeps you sane?
For this prep, it was a cupcake.
A what?
Cupcake.
Oh, we're
I had a
talking
craving for a cupcake.
That's kind of serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
My previous prep, it was dark chocolate.
Well, dark chocolate.
It's still better for you than milk chocolate. It's got antioxidants.
100%.
But it's still calories.
Are you at like the 80% dark chocolate?
Oh yeah, the really dark stuff.
Yeah, so that has very little.
Yeah, it's got a lot of fat though. It's still got a lot of fat.
It's on the level of bitter, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's really interesting. Anything else, like somebody like for me that has no knowledge of the work that goes in it, dedication that goes involved in this. I mean, how many days a week are you in the gym during this whole process?
Well, deep into prep, every day I'm doing something. I got up to 70 minutes of cardio a day, and I was lifting weights 5 days a week.
I mean, I'm just processing that for a minute.
Every day is like
70,
day. If you're well
70 minutes of cardio.
Yeah, that's not
over an hour.
Yeah, that's not the whole prep, but that's kind of where it was at for
and
this
then
last
you're
few
also
weeks.
doing that's every day.
Yeah. Yep.
Everyday cardio, and then 5 days on top of the cardio.
Hour and a half of lifting weights approximately.
Hour and a half of lifting weights. So I'm curious. This is something I just recently read. Is that you should do, if you're going to do that weightlifting and the cardio combination, you should do the cardio on the end.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. You want to do something to warm yourself up before you started lifting heavy weights during the day, but
so you can do a small 5 minute cardio.
You don't want to wipe yourself out doing the 60, 70 minutes up front.
Right.
You want to lift the weights first.
Like 5 minute?
Yeah,
on the Stairmaster, nothing crazy.
Warm the muscles up, get the fascia going.
Okay, yeah, that's what Sam does, that fascia stretch therapy.
Yeah, oh, that's great.
Yeah, right next door.
Might have to see him after you.
Yeah, here, I give you a little plug for Sam.
Awesome, thank you.
So that is just incredible. So anything else, like, you hear these people, they talk about the cold plunge and sauna and massage and stretch.
Do you have recovery, absolutely.
Is any of that in your process?
I see a chiropractor once a week. I see a massage therapist once a week. I hit the red light sauna at our gym. I would try at least twice a week to hit the red light sauna.
And how many minutes are you in there for the sauna?
Usually just 15.
15?
Yeah, 10 to 20, more like 15.
10 to 20.
I don't like extreme temperatures, so I used to do the cryotherapy, and it just made me too tense, and it would trigger a migraine, so I stopped doing the cryotherapy. And then the red light sauna, I can handle it 10, 15 minutes. Much past that, I start feeling kind of yucky.
So no cold plunge for you?
No cold plunge for me.
What about cold showers? No?
Too much muscle tension.
Yeah, I'm big into the cold shower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got like I get distracted easily, and I found that it really helps.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to get a cold plunge. I have a tub that I can use ice in, but it gets a little crazy trying to fill it with ice all the time. But I don't know if you ever follow Joe Rogan?
No, I mean, of course I know who he is.
What's that?
I know who he is, but I don't.
Oh, he likes the cold plunge, and he says, "Yeah, I like it when I see the ice coming off the bottom.
Yeah.
That means it's like right there at 32 degrees. The water's like barely liquid. The best I can do is like 55 degrees, and I can do that for like about 5 minutes. But I mean, yeah, I do cold showers every day though. It's a thing that what I found, believe it or not, this is my thing on the cold. If you really hate cold, but you just gradually work towards it. So I do the contrasting is what I started with. So I always did a hot, and then I did a cold, and now in the morning, I've been doing this for over a year. I want a cold shower in the morning.
Yeah.
I got to the point that, and that's probably how that Joe is. I want that cold in the morning, and like, actually this morning I was complaining to my wife. I go, this water's not cold. I can't get it cold enough.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Well, we're in South Florida and it's hot outside, but I mean, we were recently in Boston, and that one was cold.
Plenty cold, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, Lisa, thanks so much. How do people find out more about you? Your Instagram? I think we wrote it down here.
Yeah, at @cromonkey_IFBB Pro. And then also, I'm a new gym owner. November, my husband and I purchased a gym called Impact Fitness. It's over in Kennewick, Washington. So you can check out Impact Fitness.
Impact Fitness, is it like Instagram at Impact Fitness?
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and look it up? We can wait on it. Okay. Just opened the gym. This is super exciting, guys. You can go there and get help from one of the best.
Okay, it's IMPAKT_fitness.
Okay, that's great. So it just opened how long ago?
November. We took it over from previous owners. We became the new co-owners, my husband and I. So my husband's been a personal trainer since the late 90s. I'm a personal training coach as well, nutrition specialist. So yeah, we do online programming, we do in-person personal training, macros, things of that nature.
So being just new, you mind if we go a little longer?
Sure, that's fine.
Now I'm drawing some more interesting questions. Being a new gym owner since November, I'm curious, what are you doing different to attract people to come to your gym over maybe what the prior owners?
We are there, present in the gym a lot more because my husband and I are both professional athletes. So we try to lead by example.
It's a little loud here.
We're there to offer help and advice, coaching if people want one-on-one coaching, trying to build a gym culture where, you've got powerlifters, strongmen, bodybuilders, just people who are looking to get generally healthy and want to come to a gym and feel like they're part of a community.
You know what's so funny is you should go talk to Raider behind us. He's got this big, nasty barbell, and it's a clothing line, but he's wanting to also, part of his whole goal with it is to create more community.
Cool, yeah.
And I was telling him when I talked to him is, one of the things when you look at I watched this documentary called Blue Zones about centurions that live, to 100 or even beyond. One of the big things about them is community. And the other thing is, what was interesting is the fitness side of the component. Is like one example they gave was this woman that goes and works out in her garden, but she can do a flat-footed squat, and they're like she's squatting several hundred times a day, going and so she's getting this workout that as modern people living in most American cities, we're sitting behind a desk, we go sit on a sofa, we're very sedentary, and she's going work in her garden doing 100, 200 squats every, I may be misquoting it, but the point is, you get the point. She's out there just living her life, but part of living her life is this fitness regimen that she doesn't even realize that she's doing. Yeah. And, she could probably out squat a lot of people and not even realize it. So, I mean, one of the things I've come to realize, and I guess the reason why I started my journey, I actually started it back in 2013. I went from 280 to 213.
Nice.
Had a few injuries, got out of the habit, and just it grew back up. And I decided, I can't live this way. I got to feel better. And in my opinion, you got two things that are most important. You get your time, and then you got your health.
Quality of life is very important.
It's very important. I feel so much better since I cleaned up my diet. It's not even funny. And I really don't even crave the sugar that much since I guess I've finally, after like about a month and a half, I don't know. Do you know how you have some nutrition knowledge?
Yeah.
How long does it take you to cleanse your body of the sugar so that you don't have the sugar cravings so much?
I mean, for a lot of cravings, I would say at least 2 solid weeks to get your foot in the door. But make it a habit.
I'm like at 45 days right now.
Yeah.
At 45 days. Like literally, I can walk by the cookies over there, even if I smelled them, baking in the oven. Yeah. I would do fine. It's just, I think, is it part of it just that it holds in the system and it creates additional cravings? Everybody talks about a cleanse.
Hyperpalatable food. If you're eating hyperpalatable food like fast foods and processed sugars and stuff, your body's going to just keep craving it. It becomes a vicious circle. Once you break that cycle, you can typically make healthier choices and you don't feel the loss as acutely, I would say.
So just how much bread do you eat?
I usually have a piece of toast a day. One piece of toast. Sourdough.
And I'm sure it's not slathered with jelly, is it?
No, I do a pat of butter. Pat is very
avocado?
tiny. No avocados. I keep my fats low, and I'm not saying the avocado is an unhealthy choice. It's just I'm trying to fit my macros.
Well, yeah, because you're a little bit different situation due to the competition.
Yeah.
Well, that's so exciting to find out about your new gym venture.
Yeah.
And can you repeat that again so people can make sure they get it?
Yep, it's Impact Fitness. It's spelled IMPAKT_fitness.
All right, everybody go visit Impact Fitness. It's in, where's it at?
Kennewick, Washington.
In Washington State?
Washington State, yeah.
All right, wow, you flew a long way to come to this. It's amazing. You here with your husband?
No, actually I'm here with my teammates, Top Gun Fitness out of Spokane, Washington.
Well, give them a plug. Do they have a website or an Instagram?
So they are topgunfitness.spokane. So that's Mel and Lydia Taylor. They're my coaches for the bodybuilding side.
So you hear that, folks? You hear that? That's an important thing. She's a coach, a nutrition specialist, owns a gym, and she's got not one, she's got 2 coaches.
Well, I would say even 3 because I count my husband as a coach too. So it helps me stay accountable. It definitely helps to have another set of eyes on you, especially for bodybuilding, as you get prep brain and things aren't clicking quite right to keep you grounded. So
that's a major takeaway.
Yeah.
3 coaches, and she's a coach herself.
Yep. It's not for lack of knowledge. It's for outside input, bouncing ideas off each other, coaching, and another set of eyes.
Wow, that's impressive. Well, thanks again, Lisa.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming and stopping and sharing all your knowledge about what's going on here at the Miami International Fitness Expo. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.